This is chapter 45 of The Night Singer. 45. Sebastian Bianchi was a new name to Hannah, so she ran a quick search on him. There was nothing in any of the police databases, but he was an active user of social media where he came across as an outgoing young man who liked partying and films. She wondered how far that image corresponded with reality. Hannah didn't have a Facebook or Instagram account in her own name. What could she possibly upload there that wasn't a complete lie? Besides, she couldn't think of a single person who might want to follow her. Aside from Christopher, perhaps. He occasionally uploaded pictures to Facebook. That was why Hannah had created an account with a fake name to watch Ella grow up. In the latest image, the little girl was sitting in one of the armchairs at the hotel where Christopher worked, mimicking her father. She had a brochure in her lap and was pretending to write in it. The look of concentration on her chubby little face was fantastic. Hannah hadn't been able to get enough of it. Ella looked just like she had at that age. Nadine had given her Sebastian's number, and she called it now. After a few rings, a gruff voice answered. It was Saturday, and he was a teenager. She had woken him, of course. "We just kissed once," Sebastian explained after Hannah asked whether he and Joel had been in a relationship. "What was he like?" she asked. She was annoyed by how vague her question was. Obviously, she didn't want to know what Joel was like as a kisser. Sebastian laughed, but before she had time to clarify, he answered her real question. "He was sweet, smart, considerate. I know those sound like empty words, but they're not. Most people are ugly, crazy, and egotistical." Sebastian's words painted a fairly gloomy picture of humanity, but Hannah thought there was probably some truth in them. But your relationship never went anywhere. Was that because he didn't want it to?" she asked. "Honestly, I don't know. He seemed pretty unsure about most things." Hannah would have liked to meet Joel. The realization took her by surprise, far stronger than before. She felt that way not just because he was Rebecca's son, but because she wanted to shake that uncertainty out of him, to tell him that he could stop caring what other people thought or said, that he should just be himself, something she often struggled with herself. Sebastian yawned. "What time is it anyway?" "Almost 10:30. It's so fucking sad what happened to Joel, but I really need to go back to bed." Hannah couldn't think of anything else to ask, so she let Sebastian go back to his sleep. After a quick glance at the clock, she had just over half an hour until they were due to question Axel. She went over to Daniel's desk to get Joel's sketchbooks. They wouldn't be returned to the family until the team could be sure they weren't relevant to the investigation. As she searched the low partition wall in the middle of the office, she paused. From this angle, Daniel really could be Fabian. Looking at pictures of Ella wasn't the only thing Hannah had used her Facebook account for. She had also used it to keep track of Fabian and how he was moving on from her with his new nursery teacher girlfriend. Daniel looked up and the spell was broken. "Did you want something?" he asked. "Joel's sketchbooks," Hannah managed to stutter. He passed them to her and she hurried back to her desk. Joel's sketches were all in black, mostly done in charcoal, or so she thought, and there was a real darkness to the drawings themselves. One depicted a head that seemed to be opening up at the back, a hand stretching out from it. It was incredibly well done, but she didn't like the way the image made her feel, as though, beneath the calm, polished surface, there were something fighting to get out. Hannah picked up another pad, half empty this time, and decided it must be his most recent. It was full of comic strips about someone Joel called Mr. Man and Miss She, who poked fun at male and female stereotypes. Her phone rang and Hannah reluctantly answered. It felt like she was touching upon something important here. "Hi, this is Petrie Forslund, Rebecca's husband," he added when Hannah didn't immediately respond. It was fear that had made her hesitate. "Has something happened?" she asked. "Yeah, I guess you could say that. A journalist just called Rebecca and asked for a comment on Axel Stanston being held in custody." A series of expletives coursed through Hannah. She had known this would happen. Why hadn't she said something? "Can I talk to her?" "No," said Petrie. "She was so upset I had to give her a sedative. So, it's true?" "Yes," Hannah admitted after a brief pause. She wanted to explain that being held wasn't the same as being guilty, but if she did, that would also have to get into why and how, and she knew she couldn't do that right now. "Tell Rebecca she can call me," she said. "Any time." "I will, though I'm not sure she wants to speak to you." His words stung like a physical blow. Petrie sighed, and Hannah waited to be giving a telling off over how she was doing her job. "I saw something I should have mentioned right away." What did you see? Last Thursday, when I was heading home from the office in Forston, I guess it must have been around 4:30, I saw Joel. Petrie sighed again. Go on. I went into the shopping center to pick up a few things, and I saw Joel there with a man. It looked like they'd fallen out. Joel was upset, and the man was trying to calm him down. I saw him grab Joel's arm. Did you hear what they were saying? No, I was too far away. Where exactly was this? They were standing outside the shoe shop, Skodecki. Can you describe the man? He was around 40, and he had short, light brown hair. Did you notice anything else? What do you mean? Petrie raised his voice slightly, as though he had interpreted her question as an accusation. You said Joel was upset. Did you notice any other emotions? Petrie was quiet for a moment, and Hannah didn't rush him. Rebecca said you think Joel was gay? Yes. I don't know why I didn't mention this to Rebecca, he eventually said. Maybe because he was so old, but afterward I asked Joel whether he and the man were in a relationship. And what did he say? He denied it, but there was something about the way they were interacting that felt really intimate.